So I have a question. In Rigved, um, Indra was responsible for bringing down the rivers and flooding when the battle happened. You know, so does that mean to breaking of a dam, or does it mean that he changed the course of a river and he just flooded? Like, what would be the most likely interpretation?
Yeah, so you are talking about basically this is all mentioned close to the Dasharajana battle
Yes.
where he interacted with the Parushni river and changed the course of the river Parushni. So I am actually focusing on this topic when I was focusing on Parushni. But since you asked, yeah, Indra is not meant Indra's association with the rivers is that he is the the god who controls the rivers. So it's not bringing down the rivers, but I would say like controlling the rivers. He is like a lord of the rivers, basically. There is a kind of an association with Indra and the rivers, and he is considered as two activities are mentioned with respect to Indra. Indra's two activities with respect to rivers are mentioned in the Rig Veda. One, I think already I have referred when we were talking about Rigvedic Devatas. Indra is just born, and then Indra's mother and Indra and the rivers they were conversing, wherein rivers the Indra's mother mentioned that all the rivers actually have to oblige to Indra because Indra is the one who is like controlling them and nourishing them, bringing them, etc. So there is a relationship of Indra as per his mother with all the Rigvedic rivers. And then the rivers are mentioned as cleaning Indra because Indra after birth he was unclean. Obviously, some when a child is born, he's having a lot of things on his body. So that is also mentioned. So the rivers are the people who clean Indra. So all these things are mentioned. Then another aspect is that the Vritra narrative. So that is related to geology, wherein this is also the scenario of the geological situation in the regions like Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, etc. Wherein the main rivers of Rigveda, like Parushni, for example, that is Ravi River, they emerge from the Himachal Pradesh, Satluj, Shadadru coming through Manasa Sarovar in Tibet and passing through Himachal Pradesh and then come, and even Vipasha coming from Himachal Pradesh, and Vitasta from Kashmir, Hasikni, that is Chenab, again between the border of Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. So all the rivers, and then Sindhu flowing through Kashmir, the larger Jammu Kashmir. So all these rivers, Sindhu and its tributaries, coming from the this mountain, and they are all snow-fed rivers. So their source of water is snow. So the Vritra Indra narrative is basically like referring to a geological phenomena wherein there was a period, extreme cold period, where the rivers will be completely frozen with no flow in them. So it is something completely different from a situation where there is a summer and the rivers get dried up. All the rivers will dry up because of the heat. Sun will dry up all the water inside the river. So the river get dried up. So similar kind of situation in the extreme cold period, everything is frozen and there is no water coming in. So that is the in which the Rigvedic suktas very clearly mention Indra like becomes the energy, and then that because of that energy, heat energy, the Vritra is eliminated. That is the ice melt away, and the Himalayan ice melt, and the river start flowing. And this is what mentioned in the Indra Vritra narrative. So Indra's Vajra is basically the kind of energy, thermal energy, which releases water from the ice. And this ice getting melting of the ice is considered as Vritra, the destruction of Vritra. And then Vritra is, by the definition, Vritra is a constrictor. Vritra means to constrict. So Vritra is somehow the Rigvedic poet imagining Vritra as an entity which constrict all the rivers and don't permit it to flow. And Vritra's strength is lack of energy or the cold, that is icy cold temperature. And that is what Indra is eliminating, and then slowly the ice melting and the river start flowing. And here it is the Vishnu is also mentioned. Vishnu means expansion. So there is something like an expansion happening in this process because of this was a thermal expansion, etc. So that is the why the role of Vishnu as a kind of an opposition to Vritra is also mentioned in the Ṛgveda. So because of the action of Indra and Vishnu, the water is released, and primarily it is attributed to Indra in the Ṛgveda. So all the rivers are you can say Indra is responsible for making them flow. So that is what the controller, that Indra is mentioned as the lord of the rivers. Indra is mentioned as the controller of the rivers. Indra is mentioned as the releaser of the river. So the liberator of the rivers. That is the kind of, and the Ṛgvedic poet then mentioned that all the rivers are should be thankful to Indra. They owe to Indra for their release and flow. This is the kind of relationship Indra is having with the rivers. And subsequently, when I discuss about Parushni and other rivers, I will mention, like, for example, Indra's favorite river is Parushni. He baths in the Parushni river, that is the Ravi river. And because of that, there is a kind of battle, the Dasharajana battle, where the Suda's army was on the Indian side of Parushni river. Because I allowed to tell this. So Parushni river is a border river. No, it is on one side it is India, other side is Pakistan. So Sudas is on the Indian side of the Parushni river, the Ravi river, and the Sudas enemies were on the other side, that is the Pakistan side. We have the Puru. Puru is basically the Samvarana Bharata, the ancestor of the Pandavas, and then the Kavi Chayamana. Today we have seen Abhyavartin Chayamana, the Anava king. So his descendant is Kavi Chayamana. So the army of the 10 kings led by Puru and Kavi Chayamana. That is there is a kind of an alliance, temporary alliance between Anavas and the Pauravas. That is the Puru lineage or the Bharata lineage that leading to the Pandava side. So there was an alliance that time. So Puru, Samvarana, or whatever name you call. So Puru and this Kavi Chayamana, they were all together, along with around 10 more other kings belonging to various lineages. And as per Talagari, some of them are ancestors to the ancestral the ancestors, or those who speak the ancestral language of Albanians, Greeks, Germanics. So all the Europeans, they were ancestors of the. So he is very cautious in telling that the ancestors of the language speakers of these Europeans. So he doesn't say that the people themselves or their ancestors themselves participated in the Dasharajana battle, but saying that people who spoke that languages, they were part of this Dasharajana battle, and they got defeated and they went westwards. So all these things happened in the Indo-Pakistan border, and that's the most interesting part. And I will cover this, definitely I'll cover this very interestingly. I will have to cover it when we discuss about Parushni, but I'm saying because Shraddha asked this important question. So I think I clarified, right? This.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I have also a suggestion, sir. So all these places, it is so tempting to go and see. Maybe after this course is over, maybe if we can just organize something and we can just, go for an excursion. Some of us who are interested, at just some places.
Yeah, yes, it's very much possible. So the organizers of the university is listening. So, but they can arrange it. This kind of a post Ṛgvedic geography tour will be very much interesting. And there was another request pending to me from some other such like enthusiast on Mahabharata. They want to have a Mahabharata tour organized, etc. So I have given my suggestions to know that. So this is all maybe we will be able to organize, and that is one way of spreading our culture, understanding the geography very much clearly. And why not? Anyway, Mahabharata geography means it's mostly confining within India, but when we are focusing on the Ṛgvedic geography, a lot of things happen in Pakistan, but doesn't matter because currently I think the Pakistan is undergoing a transition phase where they understand that their culture is bigger than their religion. So once you go into that transition phase, for example, Indonesia and Malaysia had a similar kind of a transition phase, and they understand that the culture is more important than religion. So why not in the coming 5 years there can be a big transformation in Pakistan, and they will understand that their culture is 10 times more important than their religion, and then they will be open for this kind of a tour, and we will be able to go to the Gandharva region, that is the northwestern Pakistan, the Sariyanavat region, that is the Takshashila and the capital of Pakistan, Islamabad and Rawalpindi, all are part of this Sariyanavat region, which is considered as the place of best Soma, because the rivers like Sushoma and Arjikia flow through the Sariyanavat region, where currently the Sushoma flows through Rawalpindi, if you want to know about it. Sushoma river, that is considered as the river with best Soma plants, currently flowing through Rawalpindi and maybe maybe 2-3 kilometers away from Islamabad. So definitely these kind of tours we can do, and it will be like maybe unite after the transition phase of understanding the culture is greater than religion. Maybe the two countries also will be get united because of these interactions, and then a lot of positive things happen because of that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. And any other questions on this, like Haryopia and Yavyavati? I think I missed one point regarding the Haryopia Yavyavati. So just take it the slide one more time. This river Haryopia is also mentioned in the Mahabharata as Raupya river. And this is also like another data which comes from the Mahabharata. This is the Manaparva, 129th Adhyaya, 7th Sloka. This Haryopia, the river is mentioned as Raupya. And very much clearly it is mentioned as identical to Drashadvati. And it is mentioned as flowing through one of the corners of the Kurukshetra, that is Ramahrada or Ramrai. So this is another important point from Mahabharata, which is coming in support of the Haryopia, Raupya river. Rivers change course many times from time to time of Rigveda till now. Many rivers from Rigveda become invisible these days. Is there any need to find its original course to understand the civilization? Invisible Saraswati civilization or Saraswati? Yeah, you are right. But we have more clarity regarding whichever river disappeared. So there are only two rivers completely disappeared. Is the two courses of Vitasta Jalam river from Kashmir. That one older course is called Vibali, which was flowing directly after Vitasta descended from the Kashmir and the Himalayas. The Vibali channel directly joined Sindhu river. So that river is now disappeared. Another is a Marutvritha channel, which became active in the 10th Mandala period. And it was a channel which was running parallel to the current Vidasta channel, and some joined Sindhu river in a different, very slightly different path. They joined directly to Sindhu without connecting with other tributaries. So these are the two channels which are completely disappeared. But even then, if you look at the satellite map, they are there. So they are not, see, they are disappeared as rivers, but they are there. They have made their trace, the trace mark, which can be seen from the satellites. And in case of Saraswati, I think we are far away, far beyond the very primitive idea that it is a the unknown river, etc. Of course, just like the Vibali and the Marudhuta, the river is not flowing in its full course, and that happened. It's not our current period itself. Even during the Rama era period, and even Pandava period, was a situation was not very different from our situation. The river had little more flow than what we see today, but it was not flowing in fullness like it was in the early Ṛgvedic and middle Ṛgvedic period. So regarding Saraswati, this is not a very, it's not so completely lost, etc. Of course, a lot of researchers from the western side try to portray the river as totally gone, as so much so that you have to find it again in Afghanistan, etc. So that we have gone far away from that situation in the last 20 years. And any sensible researcher have no doubt about the course of Saraswati. And again, just like I mentioned about Maritputha and Vibali, the entire course of Saraswati also is observable in satellite channels. Anybody have a satellite imagery or even a Google map? If you look at the Google map and remove all the cities, hide the city, everything, city and roads, cities, and all the overlays, you remove that, switch on the satellite map, you see the Saraswati. So Saraswati is there very much. And another thing is in the northern Haryana, for a little part, the river is flowing and its name is Saraswati. Still, the name river retains its name as Saraswati, and with the river flow in the northern Haryana. So as far as Saraswati is concerned, we are not so hopeless. And I think you have another point about bringing it back. There is a very, very wonderful project from Haryana about Saraswati revival project. Already there are water canals passing through the Saraswati channel, which is observable in the satellite imagery. The Haryana government have already started created a channel in that same path and bringing water from Haryana to Rajasthan, the arid region of Rajasthan. And even some 20 years, around 20 years when I was in ISRO, I came to know about some projects wherein they were creating so many wells along the course of Saraswati in Rajasthan in the desert. And those water wells bring Saraswati water. Yeah, I mean, there is some truth in saying that Saraswati water went underground, because when river is not flowing, some of the water is absorbed underground. That is what it is. So you can actually dig a well and you get that water. And that is called as Saraswati water. The water from Saraswati, like in Rajasthan it is. They call it Saraswati water. And then in 2018, if I remember, 2016, I was in a conference in Delhi organized by the Draupadi Trust on Indraprastha festival or Mahabharata Manthan everywhere. So there, the Haryana government was announcing about another project of reviving the Saraswati in terms of creating more water channels along its course. And then there was a conference in Kurukshetra, completely organized by Haryana Saraswati Development Board, where I heard about this project is progressing, and a lot of people are now getting the water from Saraswati in Haryana and Rajasthan. So I think if we will then see, so maybe just remember today's class, you just remember the two rivers, Haryupya and Yavyavati. They are good names. You can name your children with that name, Haryupya and Yavyavati, and that will be a very interesting names for newborn babies, etc. Yeah, thank you. Nice meeting. So we will see the other rivers in the next session, and then we'll see you next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so hope you all We can meet next Saturday, same timing. So let's wind up with the Shanti Mantra. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.